Hey everyone, thinking about getting your first dog. That's so exciting.
It is a huge decision.
So we're diving into some research today, all about choosing the perfect breed for first-time owners.
It really is more than just picking a cute face. You want to think long-term.
Absolutely. The research actually says picking a dog is like soul searching. You gotta find a dog that matches your lifestyle.
Yeah, you got to think about things like temperament.
Right, like you ideally want a dog that's calm and easygoing.
Especially as a first-time owner. And the research also mentions looking at breeds with fewer health risks, thinking about grooming needs.
Oh yeah, grooming. That's a good point.
And size is important too, especially if you're in an apartment. You don't want a giant breed in a tiny space.
That makes sense. But what if I'm someone who's really active, like a runner or hiker?
Oh, that definitely changes things. You'd probably want a dog with more energy, a breed that can keep up with you on those adventures.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't want to pair a marathon runner with a tiny lapdog.
Exactly, you've got to match those energy levels. Now, your research also had this list of the top 10 breeds for first-time owners.
Oh yeah, it was really interesting.
Then each breed had a little nickname to help remember their best qualities. Do you want to dive into those?
Absolutely. Let's start with the sunny sidekick, the golden retriever.
Classic golden retrievers.
You feel like everyone loves Goldens. What makes them so great for first-time owners?
Well, they're known for being incredibly patient and even-tempered. The research even says they're forgiving, which is perfect for someone who's still learning the ropes of dog training.
And they're super eager to please, so I bet that makes training a lot easier.
Exactly. That eagerness to please makes them quick learners. But even with their sunny disposition, there are a few things potential golden owners need to be prepared for.
Well, like what?
Well, firstly, they need a decent amount of exercise to stay healthy. A golden retriever with pent-up energy might turn into a chewing machine.
Oh no, I can see that happening.
Yeah.
And all that beautiful golden fur probably requires some serious grooming, right?
Absolutely. Regular brushing is a must to prevent mats and tangles.
Okay, so that's something to consider.
And this is where it gets a little tricky. Goldens are prone to hip dysplasia.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Isn't that a condition that affects their joints?
It is. And they can also have certain heart conditions. Those vet bills can add up quickly.
That's a good point. It's easy to fall in love with a breed, but it's important to think about the potential health concerns too.
Absolutely. All right, what about Labrador retrievals?
Oh yeah, those are known as the eager ally, right?
That's right.
Labs seem pretty similar to Goldens in terms of personality.
They do share a lot of similarities. The research calls them world-class sweethearts.
Oh, that's cute.
They're known for being friendly, playful, and highly trainable.
So someone who's picturing lots of outdoor adventures with their dog. A lab would be a good fit.
Yeah, it sounds like it. But there are some important things to consider.
Okay, what are those?
Labs need a ton of mental stimulation, like puzzle toys, training sessions, even just interactive playtime.
Otherwise, all that smarts and energy could lead to some mischief.
You got it. Now let's switch gears a bit and talk about the joyful protector, the boxer.
Oh, okay. Boxers. I know they have a bit of a reputation for being protective, but they're also super playful, right?
That's the boxer in a nutshell. They can be naturally protective of their family, but the research really emphasizes that they're also incredibly playful and affectionate.
So they're like big goofy goofballs with a protective streak.
Pretty much, but because of that, they need early socialization.
Right, so they're comfortable around different people and situations.
Exactly. And boxers need a lot of exercise. Think long walks, hikes, playtime in a securely fenced yard.
So maybe not the best fit for a tiny apartment.
Probably not, unless you're prepared for some serious indoor zoomies. No, on the health front.
Oh yeah. What about health concerns with boxers?
Unfortunately, they share some of the same predispositions as Goldens and Labs, like hip dysplasia and heart conditions.
Okay, so those seem to be pretty common across these larger breeds.
They are. And something else to keep in mind with boxers, their short noses can make them sensitive to extreme temperatures.
Oh, that's a good point. So that's something to think about depending on where you live.
Exactly. Okay, now let's talk about a breed that seems perfect for apartment living. The Cavalier King Charles Spaniel.
Oh, yes. The Royal Lapdog.
They definitely live up to that nickname. Cavaliers are known for their gentle and adaptable nature. They're super affectionate.
Yeah, they seem like the ultimate cuddle buddies. Do they need much exercise?
They don't need the same intense activity level as a boxer, but daily walks and playtime are still important for their well-being.
So they're happy with a good walk, but also appreciate a cozy evening in.
Absolutely. And speaking of cozy, their gorgeous silky coat.
Oh my gosh, yes. That coat. It's beautiful, but I bet it requires some upkeep.
You're right, regular grooming is essential. And sadly, Cavaliers are prone to certain health issues like heart disease and something called syringomyelia.
Syringomyelia, what's that?
It's a neurological disorder that affects the spinal cord.
Oh, wow. That's heartbreaking. It's a good reminder that every breed, no matter how perfect they seem, can have potential health challenges.
Absolutely. Now, we've talked about a few larger breeds and a smaller one. What about something in between?
Yeah, that's a good point. Is there a breed that's like the Goldilocks of dogs?
Well, the Bichon Frise might be just the ticket, or as the research calls them, the cheerful charmer.
The cheerful charmer. I love that name.
They're small enough for apartment living, but still have tons of personality.
So what makes them so great for first-time owners?
Well, they're known for being super friendly, joyful, and adaptable to different living situations. Plus, they're intelligent and eager to please, which makes training relatively easy.
And I've heard their fluffy white coat is hypoallergenic, which is great for people with allergies.
You're right, their coat doesn't shed much. But
Okay.
even with all those positives, there are a few things to keep in mind.
Okay, like what?
Well, like the Cavalier, they need regular grooming to prevent mats. And Bichons can be prone to dental issues and allergies.
Okay, so those are things to be aware of.
And they're known to suffer from separation anxiety. So they thrive in homes where they have company for most of the day.
So maybe not the best fit for someone who works long hours away from home.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to a breed that's known for its smarts. The poodle.
The clever canine.
Exactly. Poodles. I bet they're amazing in obedience competitions.
They are incredibly smart and eager to learn, which makes them a great choice for someone who's excited about training and teaching tricks.
And they come in different sizes.
They do. You've got the standard miniature and toy varieties, so you can find a poodle that fits your lifestyle and living space.
And their coat is low shedding too, right?
That's right. Which is another bonus for allergy sufferers.
So the ideal poodle owner would be someone who's active, enjoys interactive games, and can provide plenty of mental stimulation.
Exactly. Poodles thrive on mental challenges, but that intelligence can also be a double-edged sword. Without enough stimulation, they can get bored and even destructive.
So it's important to keep those clever canines engaged.
Absolutely. And speaking of keeping things looking good, those beautiful poodle coats.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. But I bet they need professional grooming.
You're right. Regular trips to the groomer are a must. Okay, are you ready to meet the silky snuggler?
Bring on the snuggles. I have a feeling we're talking about the Shih Tzu.
You got it. Shih Tzus are famous for their calm demeanor and their luxurious coat.
And their small size makes them suitable for apartments too, right?
Absolutely. They're adaptable to different living situations and don't need a ton of exercise.
So they'd be a good choice for people who prefer a more laid-back lifestyle.
Exactly. But while they don't need miles of running every day, regular grooming is a must to prevent their long coat from matting.
Okay, so maybe not the best choice for someone with a busy schedule or a strong aversion to dog hair?
Probably not.
Yeah.
And on the health front, Shih Tzus, like many small breeds, can be prone to certain health issues,
Like what?
especially eye conditions and breathing problems because of their short snouts.
So their cute little faces come with some challenges.
They do. Okay, let's move on to another breed with a distinctive look, the pug.
Oh yes, the plump playmate.
Pugs are known for their playful personalities, even temperaments, and they're very sociable. Plus, they're small, relatively easy to handle, and do well in apartments.
They always seem so mischievous.
They do have a mischievous twinkle in their eye, but their playful nature is definitely part of their charm.
So what should potential pug owners be aware of?
Oh, those adorable wrinkles?
Oh yeah, those wrinkles are so cute. But I bet they require some special care.
You're right, those wrinkles need regular cleaning to prevent skin infections. And because of their flat faces, pugs can have breathing difficulties, especially in hot weather.
So potential pug owners need to be extra diligent about their care, especially in warmer climates.
Exactly. And like many small breeds, pugs can be prone to obesity. So it's crucial to monitor their diet and make sure they get enough exercise.
Okay, makes sense. What about the Boston Terrier? The American gentleman.
Boston Terriers are known for their well-mannered disposition and their friendly nature, and they love affection.
So another good option for apartment dwellers.
They are. They're good size for first-time owners and adapt well to smaller living spaces.
And are they easy to train?
Yes, they're intelligent and eager to please.
Sounds like a great combination.
Yeah.
But I know they have those short noses.
You're right. Their short snouts, which are common in brachiocephalic breeds, can lead to breathing issues, and they can be prone to eye problems as well.
So that's definitely something to be aware of.
And because of their breathing issues, they do better in moderate climates. They do need regular exercise, of course, but it doesn't have to be as intense as some of the other breeds we've discussed.
Okay, so moderate walks and playtime rather than marathons?
Exactly. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here. We've got one breed left on the list, and it's known for its smarts and energy. The agile thinker, the Border Collie.
Oh, wow, Border Collies. They are super smart, but I've heard they need a ton of exercise.
They do. Border Collies are incredibly intelligent and energetic dogs. They were bred to work.
I mean, they're famous for herding sheep.
Exactly, and that herding instinct is still very strong. They need at least 2 hours of exercise every day, and not just leisurely walks.
So what kind of exercise are we talking about?
Think agility courses, Frisbee advanced obedience training.
Wow, that's a serious commitment. What happens if they don't get enough exercise?
A bored Border Collie can be a recipe for disaster. They might channel all that pent-up energy into destructive behaviors.
Like excessive barking or chewing on things they shouldn't be chewing on.
Exactly, so definitely not a couch potato dog.
It sounds like choosing a dog is a lot more than just picking the cutest one from a photo.
It really is. It's about finding a dog whose temperament and needs align with your lifestyle.
Thinking about your living space, your activity level, how much time you can realistically dedicate to training, exercise, and grooming.
And doing your research on potential health concerns.
Being prepared for the financial responsibility that comes with providing proper care for your furry friend.
Absolutely. Responsible pet ownership means being prepared to meet your dog's needs, both physically and emotionally.
And remember, the research mentioned dog breed fact files.
Yeah, those can be really helpful for delving deeper into specific breeds.
So much good information out there.
There is. Now, while we focused on purebred dogs today, I want to leave you with one final thought. Consider adopting from a shelter.
That's such an important point. Shelters are full of amazing dogs of all breeds and mixes, just waiting for their forever homes.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful way to give a deserving dog a second chance at a happy life.
And you might just find your perfect match while you're there. So what happens once you've done your research, considered your options, and you're ready to bring your new furry friend home?
That's where the real fun begins. Let's dive into some tips for creating a welcoming environment for your new pup and making that transition as smooth as possible.
Perfect. Let's talk about that next.
Sounds good.
Okay, so let's say I've done my research, thought about my lifestyle, and picked the perfect breed. What's next?
Well, the research really emphasizes making a welcoming space for your new furry friend.
I love that idea, making it welcoming. So what does that actually look like?
The basics. Having a comfy bed ready, food and water bowls, and of course, some safe, durable toys. You want to give them things they can chew on, that won't be a problem.
Yeah, puppy proofing is a must. No one wants to come home to chewed up furniture or accidents. What about that first vet visit?
The research recommends taking your pup to the vet within the first few days. It's super important for a few reasons.
Okay, like what?
Well, firstly, the vet can give your puppy a thorough checkup, make sure they're healthy and don't have any underlying medical conditions.
That's a good point. It's better to catch things early.
Exactly. And it's also a chance to make sure they're up to date on vaccinations and talk about any concerns you might have.
Oh yeah, I remember feeling a bit overwhelmed when I first got my dog. So many questions I didn't even know I had.
That's totally normal.
Yeah.
Vets are used to first-time dog owners having lots of questions. It's a good idea to write them down beforehand so you don't forget anything during the appointment.
That's a great tip. And while we're talking about health, I wanted to bring up something we mentioned earlier, pet insurance.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Especially since we've been talking about some breeds that are prone to certain health issues, pet insurance can really help manage those unexpected vet costs.
Yeah, it seems like it could provide some peace of mind, especially for a first-time owner. So we've covered a lot of ground here, from choosing the right breed to preparing for their arrival. What are some key takeaways for our listener?
I think the biggest takeaway is that choosing a dog is a long-term commitment. It's about finding a dog whose temperament and needs really align with your lifestyle. Thinking about your living space, your activity level, how much time you can realistically dedicate to training, exercise, and grooming.
And doing your research on those potential health concerns. Being prepared for the financial responsibility.
Exactly. Responsible pet ownership means being prepared to meet your dog's needs both physically and emotionally.
And remember, the research also mentioned those dog breed fact files as a helpful resource.
Those can be really informative. Now, while we focused on purebred dogs today, I want to leave you with one final thought. Consider adopting from a shelter.
Yes, shelters are full of amazing dogs of all breeds and mixes. just waiting for their forever homes.
Adopting a dog is an incredibly rewarding experience. You're not only gaining a loving companion, but you're also giving a deserving dog a second chance. It's a win-win.
Absolutely. Choosing a dog is a big decision. But ultimately, it's about finding that special connection and opening your heart and home to a furry friend who will enrich your life in countless ways.
So true. It's about finding that perfect match and embarking on a journey filled with love, laughter, and maybe a few muddy paw prints along the way.
And who knows? Your perfect match might be waiting for you right now at your local shelter.
That's a great point. Remember, responsible pet ownership is a commitment, but the love and joy a dog brings into your life are immeasurable.
Well said. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of dog breeds for first-time owners. We hope it's helped you feel more prepared and excited to welcome a dog into your life.
It was my pleasure. Happy dog hunting.
And to all our listeners, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time on The Deep Dive. All right, so we've talked about choosing a breed and getting your home ready for your new best friend. But what about training?
That's a big one. And it's really important to think about training from the get-go.
The research actually dives into some training basics. It mentions commands like sit, stay, and come.
Those are the classics.
Yeah.
Every dog owner should have those down pat.
They seem pretty straightforward, but I'm sure there's more to it than just saying the word.
Oh, absolutely. There's definitely a technique to it. And the research highlights a few different approaches for teaching those commands.
Okay, so let's start with sit. How do we teach a dog to sit on command?
Well, one popular method is called luring. Have you ever heard of that?
I think so. Isn't that where you use a treat to kind of guide the dog into position?
You got it. So you hold a treat near your dog's nose and slowly move it upwards and backwards.
Okay, I'm picturing it. So as the dog's head follows the treat, their rear end naturally lowers into a sit.
Exactly. And the moment their butt hits the ground, you clearly say the word sit and give them the treat and praise.
So we're connecting the word to the action and rewarding them for it. Makes sense.
And with repetition and consistency, your dog will start to understand that the word sit means put your butt on the ground.
I love that description. Put your butt on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, what about stay? That one seems a bit more challenging.
It can be, especially with a super energetic puppy, but it's an essential command for safety reasons.
Okay, I see that. Being able to tell your dog to stay before crossing a busy street could definitely prevent accidents.
Exactly. So how do we teach stay? Well, the research suggests starting small and gradually increasing the duration and distance.
Okay, baby steps. So start by having them sit, and then what?
Once they're in the sit position, hold your hand up in a stop signal and say, stay, in a calm but firm voice.
And even if they only hold it for a second or two, we're praising and rewarding them, right?
Absolutely. We're building their confidence and showing them that staying put earns them good things.
And as they get better at it, we can gradually increase the distance, like taking a step or two back.
Exactly. And always remember to use positive reinforcement, praising them and rewarding them for their efforts.
Okay, so we've got sit and stay down. What about come? That's one every dog owner dreams of having down pat.
Oh, come is so important. It's arguably the most crucial command you can teach your dog. It ensures their safety and gives them more freedom to enjoy themselves.
But it can also be one of the hardest commands to teach,
Yeah.
especially when there are distractions around.
You're not wrong, but the research offers some great tips for teaching a rock-solid recall. The key is to make coming to you the absolute best thing in the world.
Okay, so how do we do that?
Well, firstly, use a high-value reward, something your dog goes crazy for.
So maybe their favorite treat or a special toy that only comes out during training.
Exactly. And start practicing in a controlled environment, like your living room or your backyard. Say your dog's name and the word come in an excited and enthusiastic voice.
So they associate come with good things. And when they come running, we're basically throwing a party.
Right? Pretty much. Lots of praise, lots of happy energy, make them feel like a superstar.
And as they get better at it, we can start practicing in places with more distractions.
Exactly, like the park or even just your front yard.
Yeah.
But always remember to set them up for success. Don't call them to come when you know they're going to be super distracted.
Right, we want them to succeed. So those are the basics. Sit, stay, and come. What other training tips does the research suggest?
Well, it emphasizes that training should be an ongoing process. It's not just about those basic commands.
So it's about more than just obedience.
Exactly. It's about shaping your dog's behavior and helping them become well-adjusted members of society.
So even after they've mastered the basics, we're still reinforcing those good behaviors.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember that every dog is an individual. Some dogs learn quickly, others take a bit more time. So patience and consistency are key.
And if we're struggling, it's okay to ask for help, right?
Of course, there are certified dog trainers who can provide guidance and support.
Sometimes a little expert help can make all the difference. Now, before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to touch on something that's so important: responsible dog ownership.
That's a great point. It's about more than just providing food, water, and a place to sleep.
So it's about the bigger picture, their overall well-being.
Exactly. It's about meeting their physical, emotional, and social needs, making sure they have a happy and fulfilling life.
So what are some key aspects of responsible dog ownership?
Well, it starts with providing proper nutrition and exercise, making sure your dog is getting a balanced diet and enough physical activity to stay healthy.
And regular vet checkups are important too.
Absolutely. Preventative care is crucial. It helps catch potential health issues early on.
And of course, training and socialization play a big role in responsible dog ownership, like we talked about earlier.
Exactly. But it's also about being a responsible member of your community, picking up after your dog, obeying leash laws, making sure your dog isn't bothering your neighbors.
So basically being a good citizen and representing dog owners in a positive light.
You got it. It's about thinking beyond your own needs and considering the well-being of your community as a whole.
Well said. I think we've covered just about everything our listener needs to know about being a responsible dog owner, from choosing the right breed to navigating the world of training to understanding those deeper aspects of pet parenthood.
It's been quite the deep dive, but hopefully our listener is feeling prepared and excited to welcome a dog into their life.
I have no doubt they'll be an amazing dog parent. So to all our listeners, thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Remember, dog ownership is an incredible journey full of joy, challenges, and unconditional love. Embrace it all and cherish every moment with your furry best friend.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Happy dog parenting, everyone.
And that's a wrap on the deep dive. We'll catch you next time for another fascinating topic.
Thank you for your watching. If you find this video is helpful to you, please share it with your family and friends. Leave us a like and subscribe to our channel. And turn on the bell, that way you don't miss every single one of our videos. So that's for today's video. See you next time.